Hey folks, let's go backwards. Another sellout at 4 Pines Park, the last match of the round, where the Seagulls took a huge 30-blot lead at half-time. It was Western Webb by then, 70% possession. They had completed 23 of 25 sets. It was an absolute cakewalk in the first half, Bears Head.
Yeah, they had all the ball, obviously, and the six agains. Look, I know Ricky came out and said, I do agree with him in that try that was disallowed. You know,
Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was an obstruction. But in saying that, they were always going to win this game. They just had, for whatever reason, they just turn it on there, don't they? They're like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
Totally two different teams when they get there. And I got a theory. My theory is, I reckon it's because they train on that oval every day.
What do you mean?
Manly.
So different to other grounds, or?
Yeah, well, a lot of the clubs don't get to train on Commonwealth Stadium, for example.
Yep.
Like Bulldogs obviously train at Belmore,
yeah.
but they only play that one game there. I feel that when you've got those suburban games, like Sharks as well, you just know, you're so comfortable playing on that.
Probably right.
On that pitch.
Did you remember playing in England, Brian? So I would sneak onto the Willows, which was the home ground of Salford, to have some goal kicks. And they were the narkiest greenkeepers of all time.
Yeah.
They come running out. What are you doing? Get off. They put so much pride in their turf being pristine, which it was.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't have anyone on it.
Yeah, because we weren't allowed to train at DW Stadium.
Yeah.
JJB now.
JJB.
JJB's called. It probably because the sun. There's no sun.
No.
So it doesn't grow very well.
That's right.
But I feel that because we went out there when Leon got levelled and they were on the field, and it was just unusual to see them doing everything on the field.
That's right.
Like it's...
Like with the Roosters, for example, they're always on that backfield, Moore Park.
They're all...
Maybe a captain's run.
There's always a captain's run. Tigers are always at Concord.
Yep.
South are at Heffron.
Yes,
obviously, you can't get on the...
That's a good point.
I just feel that you're so comfortable out there.
Yeah, Bulldogs are probably where? Belmore, are they? Or?
They're at Belmore, yeah.
They're at Belmore, yeah.
Anyway, that's my two bits.
Okay, all right. Early turning point, of course, Corey Horsburgh goes into the sin bin. Here's some of Ricky Stewart in the press conference after the game.
Well, I don't think there's a football team in the competition that's going to defend to those statistics and win. You keep having six against you, you're not going to get the ball.
Did you think that Grant Atkinson's performance out there was subpar today?
I'm not allowed to talk about a ref, but I hope Andrew Abdo has an answer for us all. When you look at the average play the ball speed, and it was just brought to me then, it was something like 3.54 for one team and 3.55 for the other team. So where's the inconsistency in the play the balls there? How come we get, I think it was 6-1 in six against? And in the six against that go against my poor buggers, I see those tackles every week by certain teams. Nothing's done. So you tell me, because I'm not allowed to.
Okay, keen to see how this falls out, Brian.
Well, he didn't really. He just alluded to the fact.
Yeah. That's Voldemort-ish, is it?
It is, I suppose, but Desi didn't get Voldemorted. He didn't get the 10K.
He did.
What is the new rules? Because you've never been able to speak about the referees.
No.
They've just doubled down.
It's like the cryptic crossword these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just give it a little clue out there.
Well, everyone knows what he's talking about. But, I mean, Ricky will go back and have a look at that game. That Manly were just too good, too quick.
Brian, what about our man, Ethan Bullymore? Oh, yeah, Bitcoin Bullymore.
Bitcoin.
He gets a double off the duty. But double,
Almost three.
Yeah, almost three. But not quite four, Brian. Not quite four.
No.
Somebody picked up four. And what a 24 hours for that man, Brian.
Yeah, so there was rumours. Well, no, he was out. He wasn't going to play.
Right.
Because obviously, for the listener out there, he had his first child, him and his fiancée, Riley. And they gave birth to a little girl, and her name is... He told us last night. I'll get to it.
Okay.
But I was wondering why he all of a sudden was allowed to play. And this is... I've got some audio of out over there on the North Shore of the hospital, North Shore Hospital, I think it was. And now this is audio inside the birthing suite.
You look so tired.
This
Why
is
don't you go
Riley.
get some sleep? Oh, no, I feel great. Listen, I've been thinking, if you don't want me mixing with...
You're Ricky at the Raiders.
We'll make out some other kind of way, you know?
There's one thing I want you to do for me.
What?
Come here.
What?
Win.
Very dramatic in there. And that's Siebes. See, that was Siebes in the back. I don't know what Siebes was doing in the birthing suite. It's a bit strange. And off they went, and he came out 2 hours sleep.
2 hours
2 hours
sleep.
sleep. So that's true because I spoke to the great Nathan Wood today. I rang Woodsy up, and he goes, guess this voice. So he was on the beach.
Yeah.
He was over at DY, and he said, guess this voice. And Wishy was on the phone.
Oh,
Rod Wishart.
Really?
So he was taking the dog for
Poppy Wishart.
Poppy Wishart.
Wow.
So, and I was saying, oh, congratulations, chat. And he goes, yeah. I said, I can't believe Ruben played. He said, well, he only had 2 hours sleep.
Wow.
So he was out. He was
What a 24 hours.
unbelievable. I wish he got the record.
What were you doing for your first Scarlet, Brian?
Scarlet. Yeah, she was born on the Saturday.
Yep.
And we played the Tigers at Lycung, got lapped by 50.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the other ones, May, I was in England, we won.
Yeah, okay.
And then Luca, I'd retired.
So my first was also a Saturday.
Yeah.
And Reece Kane came into this world. And I had a similar story to Ruben Garrick, except I'd been dropped to reserve grade about 2 days earlier. We were to play somebody at Henson Park, and I said, I'm out. I'm not coming. So I didn't play.
Were you supposed to play Saturday night?
We were supposed to play Saturday, so she was born early hours Saturday.
Yeah.
And Saturday afternoon, I was been playing reserve grade at Henson Park.
Yeah.
And I thought,
better.
Ruben, I'm out.
Nah.
I didn't play. Let's move on to the other Sunday game. The Bulldogs, they snuck by the Eels. In the end, 16 points to 8. A penalty goal would seal it at CommBank Stadium. Brian, what do you make of it?
I thought, obviously, it was a much better effort by the Eels. It was just frustrating because they were winning the battle of the field position. They got down to the Bulldogs' try line, but they just couldn't nail. What was frustrating me is it was if they were just at a training run because they kept doing the same play, block for block. When one time where they didn't do the block, Dean Hawkins gave Zach Lomax a short ball and it was off the cuff. It wasn't premeditated. And he went through and he threw it over the top and to his winger out to the right. That was the only time they looked like they were causing the defence of the Dogs some trouble. Other than that, it was the same plays, slow, and it was quite predictable.
You know, on the block play, right? And I was watching the Sharks closely, and there's no stats on this as far as hitting the block runner or hitting the lead runner. Sorry, the lead runner or the one at the back. Sharkies hit the front runner a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, they've got, because they're back rowers, their timing, and a lot of people think, it's quite easy running into holes, but it's not. You've got to get your timing spot on, and the ball player has to go to the line. That's the other thing. The Sharks do better than most on the edges.
Well, if you keep hitting the front guy or enough, they run through truly. If you're a team who's always going at the back, the lead runner starts coming through pedestrian because they know they're not getting it.
Yeah.
And if they don't know they're getting it,
You're not selling it.
You're not selling it. Whereas the Sharks hit that front runner all the time, and all of a sudden Nico's out the back going through just about untouched. Anyway, back to this game.
Yep.
Funny moment in the match. I've never seen anything like it. Josh Curran has been penalised for impersonating the ref, Brian.
Yeah. But that's gone round for forever. I know Alfie was big at that too.
Yeah, but have you ever seen a penalty for that?
I've never seen a penalty, no. I mean, it's all a little bit of scuttlebutt, as we like. But it is in the rules. Rule 1, Annex I, I think it is.
Annex I?
Yeah, I think it's the Annex I, where it says you must play in the spirit of the game.
Zachy Lomax runs for 30 runs.
He did everything humanly possible.
Yep, 291 metres, 9 tackle bus. I love the hybrid model. Thank you very much, Jason Riles. I love what you did there in the backfield in the paddock.
Yeah.
He was on the wing. Up there, he was on the attack, and I love exactly what they did there. Tigers 30 defeat the Dolphins 18 at KO. Oh, this Dolphins loss cost me a few on the feed, let me tell you. 18 points to 6. They were travelling, and it wasn't to be. Well done to Benji. Benji, of course, that'd be unusual. We do see, I don't know if we've seen this before, actually. We do see coaches coaching against their sons on the occasion. On this occasion, it was Benji coaching against his brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tony Smith?
Yes, that's him. Tony Smith and
Brian
Smith,
Have they done it?
possibly. Jeremy Marshall King, of course, and Benji Marshall.
Yeah, no, that is a good stat. Didn't bring that up. I saw over in England too. I've never seen this before. So Ryan Hall was playing with Jack Sinfield, who's Kevin Sinfield. So he would have been playing with
Oh,
Kevin. Now he's
playing
playing
with both.
playing with his both.
Played with the father and the son.
Yeah, has
Gee,
anyone done that in the NRL?
Ooh, that's a good one.
David Middleton, where are you?
I love that one.
Or Tourist, where are you?
I love that one.
Stick that tongue out again for me, Tourist. Oh, gosh, it's crook.
Dolphin, where do the Finns go from here, Brian?
They're close.
Are they?
Who they got next week? I think
Broncos.
Oh, yuck.
Ugh.
They were close. They did everything right in that first half. They were cruising.
Yeah, they were cruising.
But they're Appy Coruscant. I know that, he's had some pretty handy signings with Jerome coming with him, but that win was all because of Appy Coruscant, I feel.
Appy. Sharkies 27 defeat the Rabbitohs 12. Look at flattering scoreboard, I think, for South Sydney, Shark Stadium.
Yeah.
Back to reality for the Bunnies. No, I'm not a Rabbitohs hater for you guys out there. It's just fact they were just far too good, the Sharkies.
What's happening there, Shook? You've been called a lot of you've been called a Raider hater?
No, what happened? No, so with Scopey on Friday, and I'm enjoying the calls with Scopey on a Friday, people saying, oh, you're a Rabbitoh hater, you haven't tipped them once this year. No, I haven't. But they've also been beaten in the stat department in all games, including the game on the weekend. Yeah. So then we interviewed Swaney from Stan Sport, and then somebody said, oh, Sugar, you're a KO hater. And then I accidentally said, welcome to Thursday Night Football on a Friday. And they said, oh, Sugar, you're a Friday hater. And it just kept coming in. But anyway, let's get back to the Sharkies.
Yep.
Good team. And look, you can only control what's in front of you, but everyone's waiting on them to get a big scalp, aren't they?
That's the knock on them.
Yeah.
And I reckon they sort of got over a few of those little demons last year with the semi-final win, but now they've got to aim up.
Yep.
And they've always been very good against, I suppose, inferior defensive lines. Mm-hmm. And, that should have been 40.
Fast forward to September, Sharkies are fully fit, Brian.
Yeah.
And you've got to pick the back line. Who's your wingers?
I'm going to go, Katoa will be back.
Yeah.
The Tongan Fishin will be back.
Yeah.
And I'll have Ronaldo.
So Street of the Stone.
But he's next in line.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fantastic.
He's a first-grade winger, isn't he?
Absolutely.
In most other teams.
And he's getting better and better. We spoke to Craig Fitzgibbon last week, and he said he's a bit of a lad. And you need a bit of a lad.
You do.
You need a bit of a lad around in the team, and I reckon that's why Parramatta were better, because they had Josh Adokar. The Fox was back.
He was.
Sometimes you can break the seriousness of the NRL.
Text line 0457 736 736, Brian.
Ah, yes.
Very
Stephen
good.
Menzies. So this is no name. Beaver played with John and Will.
That's good.
That's a beauty.
Any more, send them through, folks. Any more, send them through. This is the run home with Joel and Fletch. Joel and Fletch, the Broncos in the derby defeat the Cowboys 26-16. They had Robert Darby in a derby. Wasn't enough, Brian. Payne Haas, honestly.
Oh.
And I was reminded of a match that Andrew Fafita had for New South Wales. Payne Haas might have had one of the greatest front row performances I've ever seen.
It was, and he's been doing this for a while now. Now, I never saw Arthur Beetson play live, but he's probably the best forward who's ever played. Glenn Lazarus was the best front row I've ever seen, but Payne Haas is catching him very, very quickly.
Well, people talking about, to me, Glenn Lazarus, Petro Sivanasiva, Shane Webke, none of those three can do what he does. Fafita could, like a more dynamic, explosive.
Yeah, Lazo was pretty good.
Lazo couldn't do that.
Couldn't score that try.
No.
Lazo could move.
Oh, no, I know he can.
Lazo was like a wombat. Do you know how fast wombats can go?
But
yeah, I know what you're saying.
Different gravy.
Definitely. That try he scored when you saw But he's offloads at will, doesn't he? They can't get him.
Well, what he's done, Madge has been very smart, which I've noticed. He's now got him running towards the spot player.
Yeah.
And he's getting an offload just about every time.
He runs on that angle, doesn't he?
Yeah, just about every time.
But that try he scored was straight down the middle. I tell you what, and at the moment, no one's really pushing up with him. He's doing it all himself.
Yep.
Like, once they learn to, if he can get a little pass in his game, that'll be the next evolution of him.
Brandy and Vossi, one of my favourite, well, probably the favourite show I listen to every day, mostly listen to, they both suggested that Tino was a better player than Payne Haas. And I said, not on my watch. No way.
This round?
No, just like as far as if you had to sign one of the two.
Oh, no, I'd be going Payne Haas.
Tino's a gun, but please, like Payne Haas.
Yeah, I'd be signing Payne Haas.
If you
had $1 million and you could split it. I mean, Tino's terrific.
Of course he is.
But
Payne Haas is a better player.
I feel so.
Of course so.
I feel so.
Not even a conversation. 1300 01 1170. What do you do if you're Todd Payton and the Cowboys, Brian? What do you do?
This is what they did last year. It was exactly how last year panned out. They started off terribly. Because I remember we had Scotty Drinkwater and Tommy Dearden on Matty's show, and they were saying, look, we've tried something different in the off-season with defence. And they sort of got it towards the middle of the season in the back end. Don't forget, they finished 5th. Many people forget that. It's going to be a long stretch now. They've just got to keep digging in. That's all. They've got too many good players not to be where they are.
I go back to you saying that, right? I go back to what are you talking about, Brian? I'm just talking to Jonathan
Cowboys.
First. Yes.
How last year they were.
No. Sorry. I go back to Cooper Cronk and the Melbourne Storm. Like you mentioned then that you spoke to Scotty Drinkwater and over the off-season they changed a couple of things and they're going to do this. I go back to what Cooper Cronk would talk about. Melbourne Storm average winning 7 of the first 10 every year. Why? They don't ever change anything in the off-season.
No.
So that means they can roll into the season where so many teams, you're hearing it with Jason Riles and the big changes they've made. You're hearing it with the Cowboys now through Scotty Drinkwater. You make big changes and you pay the price at the start of the year, and now you're playing catch-up.
Yeah.
Melbourne Storm just roll into what they were doing, good, bad, or ugly, the year before, and then all of a sudden they've won 7 out of the first 10. You win 7 out of the first 10, you just about got your ticket in the final series.
Yeah. Well, that's comes down to their players, obviously, and their coaching. They are missing Val, though, and Cole Felt, I feel. Just kept coming out of trouble.
While I was a bit distracted there is because I was thinking about the 2015 Cowboys.
Yep.
So they're 0-3, and I'm not making any comparisons, but I will say this: 2015 when they won the comp.
Yes.
0-3.
Yep.
0-3. They'd lost to the Roosters, the Knights, and the Broncos. So that's why I was a bit lost the train of thought there.
But didn't they lose a few more? I think they were like 1 out of.
No. Then they went on a big run. So they lost the first 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They won about
11.
10 on the trot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 11 on the trot maybe. But anyway, there you go. So you never know. I'm not saying this Cowboys team are going to do anything like that, but people would have been panning that Cowboys team also in 2015. 1300 01 1170. Text 0457 736 736. Michael Maguire had this to say about Adam Reynolds, of course, who jumps into 3rd position for the most points in the conversation. In history. So Madge, he's caught up with Adam Reynolds in the press conference, and they spoke about Reece Walsh, who a little bit lacklustre against Canberra, and again not so good on the weekend. We know that I think he's still only 21, isn't he? Here's the boys on Reece Walsh.
Yeah, Reece will be right. I've had plenty of players, in situations like that, he'll be fine. He's just got to work his way through it. We know. What he can bring to the team, and every now and then a player goes through a little bit of that. It's not uncommon for what I've seen in coaching, and he's just got to work his way through that, and he'll be fine. I've had players that are like Reece, and they go through little periods in their careers, and that's actually, it helps define you who you are. That makes you a better player. You probably don't feel it at the moment, but he doesn't at the moment. But one thing I do know, he'll be better for it.
I thought he was good tonight. I thought he ran the ball strong into the line. He organised the D. He's scrambling across in the corner to save tries. We sort of sit there and nitpick at the little mistakes that he makes, but there's a lot of great things that he's doing as well. So, like Madge said, that'll change. We'll keep working hard, and no doubt he'll come out of this.
21.
Yeah, and is
he 21? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I agree with Madge. He's just out of form at the moment. It feels like he's just trying to. He's premeditating the passing. Like he's going in, he's not playing what's in front of him.
Yep.
I feel like he's trying to put the play on before, where his best attribute is just running. He'll be fine.
22, by the way, Reece Walsh.
22. But
just a pup. So I think feels like he's been around for a decade. There you go. Brian, just as we go to the break, give us your power rankings right now.
Of?
Premiership.
Melbourne.
Top 3.
Melbourne Storm.
Yep.
I'm going to go Brisbane.
Yep.
And Penrith.
Okay. All right. We'll make that a rolling Monday segment. So at this stage,
won't change.
Brian has Melbourne, Broncos, and
what do you got?
Probably the same.
Yeah,
probably the same. For Monday, here he is, the coal miner. Shawnee, come in.
Happy White Mortis Day to all those that celebrate it. Can't wait for tonight.
Yeah.
But yes, quickly, boys, market movers. So the Broncos, small little firm, up $6 into $5.50. Just quickly, I heard you chat about Reece Walsh. I knew what the journos were doing. Obviously, he's the rock star of the competition, trying to get a little headline here or there. He's played 2 poor games. Can we just remember that? It's not like he's on a run of 10 or 12 poor games. He will absolutely explode given the right opportunity. And that opportunity could be Friday night. He might just go crazy against the Finns, who, Sugar, I've got some nasty things to say about the Finns on our show on Wednesday. So just keep an eye out for that. What else can we talk about? Speaking of the Finns and market moving Monday, $5 for the spoon before the weekend. Now into outright faves, $4.33. So look out for that one. West Tigers, biggest price they've been in about 5 or 6 years, boys. $11 pre-weekend, now out to $18 to win the spoon.
There's a petition going around. It said, "Dear SEN, care of Joel and Fletch, can you please get Sean to reclaim his position as the number 1 Raider hater?"
I'm not doing it. I'm sticking fat. That was a complete forgive run, Sugar.
Yeah.
I might just be on him again against the Cowboys this week and forget about that first half. And I think was the scores level in the second half, or they might have won the second half. How many texts did Ricky get? How many texts did Ricky get in that press conference? Because
47 texts.
47.
Yeah, I thought it was 47.
He's a numbers man.
Yeah.
Stick. What about their play the ball was 3.52 seconds and ours was
47.
3.54. Jeez,
it's like Rain Man, wasn't it? It was unbelievable.
Just coming down the escalators there at the casino in Canberra.
Shawnee, they are. I told you were buying the shares at the wrong time. They are begging for you to go back to Raider hater.
Nah, stick with them. They're a good side. It's all about playing the long game. With the milk.
Point scorer is Ruben now. What's going on with Rubes?
Point scorer. Let me get it in front. I can't. Ruben, $1.83. $1.83.
Okay.
Oh wow, geez, that's tied on early on. Good on you, Shawnee.
See you, Shawnee.
See you, boys.
White Mortis.
There we go.
Nobody does it easier than Sportsbet. What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Okay, let's get into the Warriors 14 defeat of the Roosters 6. Chanel Harris-Tavita in that second half just took the game by the scruff of the neck.
Yep. He had a lot of help, though. I thought their forwards were very good. It was going to always be a tough ask for the Chooks, the young Chooks players, to get over that whirlwind win over the Panthers and go over there. It was quite slippery and stuff. And
you got to play differently going there, I've worked out, Brian. So Manly had a white-hot game plan. They flogged Cowboys. They went over there, tried to do something similar. It's a different greasy condition, couldn't do so. Roosters put on a heap of points against Penrith, tried to do the same game plan over there. You've got to play differently over there on a night game.
You can't slide.
No.
I don't know why they slide in defence on their line.
No.
You get up when the ball's inside you and just stay.
Yep.
I don't know why clubs do that. They get up and slide. They just keep sliding. And that's the 2 tries that Leotow scored was because of that, because Mark was sliding.
Yep.
I still think, he's a gun and he's going to be a terrific player, but I think they maybe should put him on the wing. Billy Smith in the centres.
I tell you what.
I don't know who to drop, though.
Ali Leotow won't be eligible for the Rookie of the Year. I think he's played more than 3 or 4 games prior to this year. But Dimitrik
Halasima?
No, Dimitrik Vimonga.
Yeah, but...
And Leka
Halasima.
They're guns, aren't they?
Halasima was the kid that was the front rower that played centres last year, made that on his debut game.
Yeah,
he filled in.
Was he the kid who broke someone in half and then goes...
Yes.
Oh, what a gun. They are guns. Guns. I'll tell you what makes it hard. And every time we called this game on SEN, Ali Leotow. You think about his uncle, which is who, Brian?
Ali Lauatiti.
That is very confusing.
Very confusing.
Ali Lauatiti is the uncle of Ali Leotow.
Yes.
Try and say that 20 times.
It would have been interesting at Christmas.
Yes. Anyway, both guns.
Ali, what do you want in that alternative?
Ali, superstar. Andrew Webster of the coaching fame. Here's what he had to say. In fact, I don't know who said this, actually. It is Andrew Webster on Warriors Performance Saturday League kickoff. Could have been the coach, could have been our man Webby. Who was it, Tourist?
Really happy with how gutsy we were. I thought the Roosters stripped them for us for numbers a few times, and I thought we battled really hard and found a way to get back and help each other and save a few tries. But, I agree with you that period in the second half, I thought we did an awesome job at trying to grind out a win and then earn field position so that we could make our own luck, like that Chanel kick for himself where he regathered and then then I thought we were really dominant with field position from there, and we finished like really strong and over the top and scored another one, which was awesome.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Great show. Well done, boys, too. Saturday League kickoff. Scott Sattler with Andrew Webster, plural. Hard to differentiate, so he called him Sats.
Andrew Wanker.
It's pretty easy. We'll speak to the... he's got something on his mind.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd like to know what he's up to.
Slip.
Maybe he's doing some sort of investigation.
Yeah.
And that's on his mind.
Well, he is yes, he's got quite the title, too, on those emails. We'll get to that very shortly.
Can I just say this? Roger Tuivasa-Sheck with the tri-star, that was next level.
Yep.
Very impressive.
Yep.
Does that mean, in your wisdom and your knowledge, do you think Desert will be back? Because he's my favourite. He's my favourite international player.
Okay, so what does that mean? Who would go to the
wing? Would Pompey go on the Sting?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Or could Rocco play on the Sting?
Yeah, I'd say he's back.
We need a Holick. Holick, can you ring up, please?
Who's the other winger too they had last year floating around?
They've got Tua Mickey on the wing.
Yeah, there was another bloke, a shorter stature sort of winger too. Anyway, Holick will fill us in. 1300 01 1170. Best bet of the week saluted, folks. Never in doubt. Titans 26 defeated the Knights 6. The buffet curse continues. Brian, we warned the listeners about that. Those teams off a big win who then have to jump on a plane. We saw the Roosters go down to the Warriors. We saw the Knights go down to the Titans, and we saw the Raiders get lapped by the Seagulls. The buffet beats them all, and this time the Knights, they were never in the hunt, Brian.
No, they came out firing, and the Brimson, Campbell, Kinney, we were talking about this last night. Other than the Melbourne Storm, is there a playmakers, or the circuit boards, as we like to call them, is there more of a running threat than these three players? Once they get there, once Jaden Campbell gets his... Because it's hard being an organising halfback. And it'll come.
He's arrived too, by the way.
He's a gun.
Yep.
It's just like his kicking game's not quite there, but he can do everything else.
Yeah,
and he's tough in defence.
He's a gun. And by the way, folks, what are you really gambling with? Chance say you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. $18, Jaden Campbell, top point scorer. I think that's worth $10. He can score tries. He can kick goals. That is play.
Just going back to the buffet, do you feel this week, in your wisdom, I've used that a couple of times today, will the Titans get bit by the buffet?
Where are they off to?
Chooks. Allianz.
Yep. They will.
Okay.
They will. And that is tailor-made because Chooks off a loss.
Chooks are flying back.
No, that's different. No,
that's
but they're home.
Okay.
They're home. No, Chooks are morals there. Rightio, let's go to Mick from Port Kembla. G'day, Michael.
G'day, boys. How are you?
Good, Mick.
Yes, Mick.
That's all right, boys. I'm on a rant. I'm up and about.
Oh, yeah.
Melbourne are at it again. They're laying in the ruck.
Oh, no.
As soon as one of their players fall off the back of a tackle, they just sit right next to the ruck and actually get in the way of the dummy half. They did it at the back of last year as well, and they just lay in that ruck. And there were a couple of times on Thursday night, was it Friday night, whatever it was, like the dummy half had to sort of step around them and get over them to get the ball. You see, there's been a bit of it in other games.
Yep.
As soon as someone gets left off the back of a tackle, mate, they're in the way. We want to go back to the old David Mander roll out. The big arm swing, roll out, a bit of that gear.
Well, remember how we were going through the phase when the dummy halves were throwing it into the players, and and the referees were penalising the defensive, but then they changed it and they said, "No, you're milking it."
Yep.
Remember that old chestnut?
I love that. I love that rule.
You pass it into their head.
Yep. Now there's ruck lies.
Ruck lies. That's it.
Nah, ruck lies. But I think it's you can see it plain as day. You could go through any tape from. We don't have tapes anymore. It's not 1984, but you can have a look at any game, and you can see as soon as someone gets left on the ground, they just don't move. Throw their hands in the air. Like the old shepherd back in the day in the schoolyard footy. Throw their hands in the air, and they think that they can just sit there, and the refs just let them do it. They need to be crack right down on it because it's going to be a trouble. It's going to be a problem for sure.
I tell you what, Mickey, they are. I think the refs. You got to give them some credit. It's a bloody tough job. In the Warriors-Roosters game, Chanel Harris-Tavita lied down, claiming a crush tackle, and the ref said, "Mate, get up, champ. Basically, get up and play the ball." The next two sets, no one touched the ball more than not Chanel Harris-Tavita, sorry, Chance Nickel-Klokstad.
Yeah.
No one touched the ball more than Chance.
So they got him.
So the ref was right.
What about the crackdown with the play the balls? So are we now all perfect? That happened for a week.
No one's been pinned.
No one's been pinged. Are they just given up on this? I don't know. Anyway.
Michael, we've got to go, mate, because we have You know who it is, and I know he's going to confirm it. Edward Corsi is the other winger I was thinking about at the Warriors. Let's go to the Holic. Is that who I'm thinking of, Holic?
Yeah, mate. Ed Cossey's doing all right in the cup, but expect Rocco Berry to come in, mate. He is absolutely killing it.
Really? So where would he play, Holic?
He's going to right centre, mate. And if it's me, I'm putting Ali Lauatora on the wing, mate. Imagine him with a bit of space like Lomax played last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Geez, that's impressive back five. Even
I'll
without,
tell you, mate, a few
without
metres,
Roger. Yeah. How's he been going,
Mate,
Holic? How's my man Desert been going in second grade?
Mate, he's put on about 5 kg, I reckon. He's a massive unit. Did you see the score in the cup game, mate? What happened to your Roosters? 46-12, mate.
Yeah, I just watched first grade, mate.
Rocco Berry, mate, linked to the field. They couldn't touch him, so he'll be back. He'll be back, boys. Just quickly, how good is Jackson Ford turning into as a bench
he was
middleman?
great.
God, he just doesn't stop, does he?
No, he was great. Mate, Marata Nakora, they've got to get him more ball. He's a gun too. Mate, you're a different side to last year. You're a very, very different side, but a cheeky, tough side, mate. Like a Dimitri Vanga. You've got Leka Halasima, Marata Nakora, the Bash brothers up front.
Coming as well, mate.
Yeah. You know what I loved about that, Holic? Jacob Laban, he's the 18th man, pretty much not involved in the game. No one was more excited for that victory than him, and I thought that's a team player right there.
Do the Tigers, are they for real? I'm looking at them thinking, man, they've had a good run against some crap teams. If we can't dominate that 4-pack, I don't think we should be in bloody...
you going the early crow? You going the early crow?
I'm going the early crow, mate.
Press it. Tourist, you can press it for guests. Tourist.
Oh, he won't.
Press it.
No,
Come on, mate. I'm not a...
Tourist is not a guest. Yeah.
Reluctantly.
Okay, there you go. Stick it up on the wall.
You're going to Campbelltown, though. You're on the road after a big win. No. It's not a formula like Holic anyway. What, you're still here? Well, you can see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio, you beautiful humans.